Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the lab 7 volumetric analysis, and this lecture is for the lab. So let's have a little talk about the volumetric analysis. So as I have already explained to you that this volumetric analysis is actually a quantitative chemical analysis. And first, we need to understand the principle of this. This analysis. So let's have some previous recall the previous information. So titration. So what is actually the titration? Then we'll go for the principle and everything. So volumetric analysis is a practical technique, right? It's a practical technique whereby one uses reacting volumes to analyze and calculate a variety of unknown values. So basic theme जो है इसकी वो ये है कि we have the known values for one thing, for one substance, and using those known values we can calculate the variety of values of unknown values for a large number of substances. So it is a practical technique which is used to determine the concentration of an unknown solution. Now the concentration of the solution is very important. इसकी जो very practical अगर आप implementation देखें जितने भी perfumes हैं इनमें आपको पता है कि dilution होती है. So actual concentration कितनी है perfume की और to what extent the dilution is. So these are some applications. So another point is that it determines several different unknown values regarding the analyte. बहुत कुछ जो under observation है, the thing which is under observation, उसकी हम बहुत सी values, standard values जो हैं we can calculate, and again determine the concentration of an unknown component in a sample. ये भी एक इसका थोड़ा सा. So in brief, we can say that this quantitative chemical analysis and the basic principle of titration is to use the known values of one, find the unknown values of the other. A solution which is called titrant or standard solution, ये होता है जिसका कि you have the known values, right? Now this sample of known values is added to sample which is going to be analyzed. The titrant contains a known concentration of a chemical which reacts with a substance to be determined. Known concentration को हम allow करते हैं to react with the unknown concentration in order to get the values of unknown values. So titration is used to determine an unknown concentration of a known substance in a sample. For example, अगर example में x और y है, so x, if we have the value of x and by using the value of x, we can also find the value of y. उसके बाद हम आ जाते हैं इसके come to the apparatus. So apparatus titration में हम use करते हैं. This is called burette. Okay. This is burette. ठीक है. और ये इसका stopper है. This is the stopper, and the stopper is used to allow and stop the addition. ये इसका I mean the one end है इसका, ठीक है, and this is the upper part and this is the lower part. Then we fix like this. ये burette को हमने fix in like this, and this is the conical flask which is having the substance whose concentration we need to find. These are the pipettes, all the different sizes of pipettes, and pipettes are used to add the known volume of substance. Next, chemicals में हम हम जाहिर है we are going to have the standardized sodium hydroxide with the help of by using HCl. So this is the this is sodium hydroxide and this is the phenolphthalein indicator. ठीक है, ये एंड पॉइंट इस किस्म का होता है और अगर हमने ज्यादा सोडियम इसमें HCl ऐड कर दिया तो ये डार्क पिंक कलर आता है एंड दिस इज द HCl, राइट। इंडिकेटर कौन सा हम इसमें यूज करेंगे, phenolphthalein करेंगे। व्हेन वी पुट द few drops of phenolphthalein it will be like this but eventually it will disappear, but when we add acid in this base and when the reaction of neutralization is complete we will see this color, this pink color, right? So methods में बड़ी simple है ये कि we take titrant in a burette. So burette is a device which allows to exactly measure the quantity or volume of the titrant added, and due to the chemical reaction taking place in the sample to be analyzed, the characteristics of the sample change. अब जैसे ही हम इसके अंदर ऐड करेंगे burette में you will take HCl and known volume of sodium hydroxide in the conical flask, right? For example, 20 milliliters आप ले रहे हैं. So then with drop wise, we add HCl from the burette to the conical flask. And before adding the HCl, we put 2 or 3 drops of indicator, which is commonly used for the strong acid and base is phenolphthalein. So due to the chemical reaction taking place in the sample, which is analyzed, which we are going to be analyzed, the characteristics of the sample changes. उसकी changes आएंगी उसके अंदर, and the changes will be obvious by the change in the color. The change of the characteristics can be detected by indicator in this case. अब मैं आपको एक छोटी सी फिगर दिखाना चाह रही हूँ, पता नहीं वो गई कहाँ पर है. Let me find it. This. ये इसको आपने चेक करना है कि जब ये न्यूट्रल है, ठीक है, when you add तो pH value change होती है. An example of titration illustrating the color change of an indicator. This could, for example, be a titration of hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide using phenolphthalein as an indicator. तो ये pH है और ये volume है, right? और ये जो आपको part दिया है यहाँ पे, this is the different colors which actually pH represents. तो 0 पे yellow है, 7 पे green है और more basic पे जाके blue है. So ये 0 से 7 पे आके आप देखेंगे कि कैसे pH इसका increase कर रहे हैं. जब इसमें सिर्फ एसिड था तो 0 था और जब आपने जब बेस था तो 0 था और जब आपने इसमें एसिड ऐड किया तो ये चेंज हो गई वैल्यू. सो न्यूट्रलाइजेशन होती है आपकी जाके यहाँ पर जहाँ ग्रीन कलर स्टार्ट होता है. Clear? So during the titration, the pH value changes from about 1 to 7. ये इसका end point है. This is the end point, right? और यहाँ पर जो value है pH की वो 1 से start होती है और ये 7 तक आती है. The color of indicate then becomes the color of indicate yellow. जो yellow part है वो आपको बता रहा है कि यहाँ पे जो pH है, the value of the pH is less than 5. और जो green part आपको नजर आ रहा है, it is showing that the value of pH is 5 between 5.5 and 7.5. And finally अगर आप 7 point से ऊपर जा रहे हैं, ये ऊपर जा रही है थोड़ी सी यहाँ तक आ रही है. So this is 7.7 where the neutralization has occurred. Now the solution is neutral. So now we come to this slide, principle of titrations. अब method के लिए what is your task? The task is that जो आपका ये आपको मैंने 3 यहाँ पर लिंक्स दिए हैं. इन लिंक्स में आपको general information about the volumetric analysis, how we arrange the apparatus, how we go through the experiment, and how we calculate the how we go through the calculations. All are there. ठीक है, तो ये आपका जो लेक्चर है दिस इज़ द बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द वॉल्यूमेट्रिक एनालिसिस। इसी लेक्चर के साथ मैं एक्टिविटी आपको अपलोड कर रही हूँ, ठीक है। उस पर आपको आई हैव गिवन वन लिंक। You are going to observe the link very carefully, and then you rewrite the entire practical with suppose। जैसे उस लिंक के अंदर आपको एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है कि कौन कौन सी 3 रीडिंग्स ली हैं, देन दे टुक द एवरेज रीडिंग ऑफ द दोस 3। उसमें आपने सपोज रीडिंग्स के साथ M1V1 फार्मूला M2V2 लगा के यू आर गोइंग टू कैलकुलेट द polarity of the unknown substance। So that is the task, and this is your actually volumetric analysis um, experiment। I hope you understand, or it's a little bit mathematical thing। Thank you so much।